Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Weather Fans Live here on Sunday, the 21st of September 2025. And I hope you are all well on this Sunday evening. It's certainly been wet over the last, well, for much of September, really, but it's been quite a deluge for many parts of the west and northwest during yesterday. There have been some reports of flooding in those areas. Sorry, kittens messing around behind me again. Oh. Here she is. There's Stormy, the little pain in the bum, ain't ya? Off she goes, messing around behind me. So let's. If you're going to keep messing around, you can go in another room. Oh, there she is. You've been a little bugger, haven't we, at the minute? Say hello to everybody. You're going to calm down. You're going to calm down. Look at her trying to bite me. Can I start this live now about you messing about? You finished biting now. Can I do this live about you messing around? Calm down. Oh, sorry about that. Let's just get on with this now. Yes, Stormy the cat, being a little monkey as usual. Let's say hello to everybody on the chat. And if she's going to keep messing around behind me, I'll put her in another room so I don't get disturbed anymore. Right. You are joking me. I kid you not, we've got blinds here. She's gone right to the top. Excuse me a second. Right. This is not how I wanted to start live. I'm moving this kit to another room because she's come up the blinds. Yeah, she wanted the top of the blinds. That's live TV, everybody. I'm sorry about the sorry about that. I was hoping she'll settle down before then. So yeah, I've got like blinds, and she literally just went up to the very top of them. First time she's ever done that. Right, I said that's live TV for you. Can't change it, can you? So let's have a look at the comments. So, good evening to Matthew. Feel much cooler out there this evening. Autumn is here. My partner Dad just say it's feeling a lot cooler out there, but I'm still roasting this room. Good evening to Laura and good evening, Michael and everyone. I hope you're well as well. Good evening to Anne Smith. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening, which is turning a bit chaotic. And our fun yellow friend is here. Good evening to you, Rachel. I hope you're well on this Sunday evening. Good evening to Sendit. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening as well. Hope you are well. Good evening to Matthew. Oh, and hello to Suit. Sorry, just seeing your message up there. Good evening to our mod Paul James. The chat's just jumped up. Good evening to Audio Coffee as well. Who else have we got? Paul James asking what rain. I don't know. I don't really have too much here. I actually looked on the sensor last night. I noticed we had about 60 millimeters during this month, but I think we had about 4 millimeters yesterday. Yeah, my fairest friend, that's Stormy. Been a bit of a monkey this evening. Leaning into older mod James. Hope you're well this evening. She can get away with it. She's been cute so little. Not when she's come up your bloody blinds behind you when you're trying to do a live. I might have to go back into the kitchen again at some point in the future if she carries on doing it. Who else have we got in this evening? Suits only had strong winds. I don't think we've even had that. I know there was a yellow warning out yesterday for strong winds, but I didn't notice any strong winds. And essentially an absolute deluge here yesterday. Kitty cam. Yeah. She's gone to the room for now. Just hopefully to calm down a bit. She wanted to play. No, she's not playing with the blinds. She's not. They've all been up about a month or so. She's not ruining them. Oh, just managed to catch the ISS before the live stream. It's passing over again this evening between 17 minutes past 9 and 20 past 9. So if you've got clear skies, people, look up to the sky. Well, obviously look up to the sky. You're not going to see anywhere else. Not going to sit on the floor. So yes, look out for the ISS after the live this evening. Who else have we got? The chat's just jumped back down to the bottom again. So let me just go back up. Audio still periodically sitting under a fan. I'm probably the same myself. I'm still warm in here. My cat insisted on wanting to go out yesterday. She believed there was no rain at the back door. So I opened the door and she looked at me like the rain was my fault and just got back off to bed. That's cats. They don't believe you until they see it. It's like, oh, okay, you was right. Good evening to Lee Jamieson. Good evening. Oh, it's my second viewing of this live stream. Great work. Thank you so much for your feedback. I hope you enjoyed the live stream so far, but so far it's been a chaotic cat and me talking about not much yet. Matthew said it was very windy where he was in his location yesterday. Laura said it's 6.6 currently. Actually, I can bring up the latest temperatures in a second. James had hailstones here today. A little sleet this morning under the heavier rain. It's been mostly dry in many areas. I think we had a very light shower earlier on. I say light showers, just a few spits and spots, but there were quite large spots of rain we had earlier. Apparently, there's a partial solar eclipse happening right now. I've not heard anything about that I'm aware of. If anyone else can shed some light on that, please let us know. Not here, but down the South Pole way. Okay. Just a few miles from here, isn't it? It's 10 degrees currently where Matthew is. Sue's saying he's calling, he's got his Christmas jumper. Really? Christmas jumper? Then again, it is only 3 months and 4 days until Christmas. Good evening to Steffi. Good evening, made it. Head back and stay for the whole hour. In hectic because dealing with medical stuff for my sister. I'm sorry to hear, Steph. I hope she's not too seriously ill. Towards the bottom of the chat. It's been a lovely sunny day here, says Anne. Yeah, it's been lovely here as well. 7.6 degrees where Sender is, feeling pretty cold. 10 degrees where Paul James is. And we're bottom of the chat. Right, so let me just bring up the latest temperatures. Let me just bring them up now. Well, let's bring up the screenshot. Let's take off the live chat while I bring up the screen share. Let's take myself off the screen so you can see what I'm seeing. So these are the temperatures at the moment. Let's make sure it's the right one. Temperature at the moment across the country as of 7 o'clock. So temperatures around the 13, 14 degrees down towards the southeast. Up through Wales, around about 8, 9 degrees. Through into the Midlands, still around about 10, 11, 12 degrees. But as we head further north, looking about 6s and 7s there for parts of the Pennines. Into Cumbria, looking about 8s and 9s. About towards Newcastle, around about 8 degrees. And up towards Scotland there, in the high single digits, up to 6 degrees there. We're looking around 6s and 7s towards north of Scotland. And again, 6s and 7s up towards the far north of Scotland. Into Western Scotland, there was a 5 that I just saw there. So plenty of clear sky. I was going to say clear sky there, but it's like maybe a passing shower possible there. You can't really see too much in the way of the webcams because it's gone dark. Fairly clear in Morecambe there. As you can see with the wind flow directions, the winds are coming down from the northerly at the moment. So temperatures with the wind chill, we're looking around about single digits for most areas. Even colder up towards Scotland, where it feels like temperatures are around about 2-3 degrees. There's 1 degree there. And we found one that's a bit below freezing. Not quite. It's dark up there. So yeah, any precipitation that is falling could be quite wintry. There's a few showers there. Yeah, I was edging my bets there if there was any snow cover up there, but there's nothing showing on that. So what we've had in the last 24 hours or so, we've had an area of low pressure develop across the UK. That's moved up towards Scandi. And behind that, we've got high pressure building up from the west. And we're in this north to northwesterly flow. And what's expected to happen in the next few days, this area of high pressure is set to move across the country to settle things down. Then as the week goes on, high pressure then establishes itself towards Scandi. We'll start to bring in this east to northeasterly wind. And as the week goes on, we're keeping an eye on what's happening out towards the west. Because we've got a tropical storm, which will be hurricane soon. I'll bring up the full details of Gabrielle shortly. That is moving close to the UK, but there is a lot of uncertainty between the computer models of where Gabrielle's going, which I will show you. I'll show you right now, actually. So let me just bring up the latest charts up from the GFS. Let's bring up onto the screen. I'll just put my head back in the chat to see what's happening. Any more named storms on the way? That's from Matthew. Not named storms that from the Met Office like that. We are keeping an eye on Gabrielle, which I'm just going to go through now. Some computer models are suggesting different places where this could go, which I will show you right now. So this is the GFS midday run, the latest run. So let's run this through for the next week to 10 days. So that area low pressure up towards Scandi. We've got high pressure moving across the UK as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll start to see signs of Gabrielle there in the Western Atlantic. So what does this GFS 12Z run do with Gabrielle? Well, during the week, high pressure established itself over towards Scandi. We're in this east to northeasterly flow, keeping things mostly dry. And on this one, Gabrielle moves towards the Bay of Biscay. And that sends, on this GFS run, it sends Gabrielle towards Iberia, actually. And we stay under high pressure. So what happens to that high pressure, actually? It gets pushed further east as Gabrielle gets closer. We've got a strong southwesterly flow out west. We've got a bit of a southerly there, actually showing there for next Saturday as Gabrielle moves closer. So there could be some real gales or severe gales there out in the Bay of Biscay. So most of the nasty weather, shall we say, will stay out towards the southwest. High pressure clings on, and as Gabrielle pushes south, that allows high pressure to start to build across the UK once again. And high pressure remains in charge through the first few days of October, bringing that east to southeasterly. Just rock that back a second. I was checking in and thought that was another tropical depression. Well, actually, it looks like it could be like a tropical depression could be forming just there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Or subtropical depression. Then, as we head into days over 13 and 14, we're under a southerly flow, so that could bring some warmer up there from the south. With low pressure towards the west, high pressure towards the east. We'll continue bringing this this southerly flow up there. So let's have a look back at that. So look at the 850 and just see how much warm air is being brought into the UK during this time period. So right now, that warm air that we had through the end of this past week just gone is out into the near continent. We've got this cool north to northwesterly flow. As high pressure moves in, let's bring that down a bit more. There we go. So high pressure across the UK. There's Gabrielle just there in the Atlantic. So it's not a cold, even though we're getting like a east northeast, it's not really, a cold we were getting at the moment. But as Gabrielle gets closer, I thought more warm air might come up with that, but not quite. Relatively mild air as Gabrielle moves towards Iberia on this run, and high pressure moves in yet again. And as we're heading towards 10 to 14, we'll start to see some warmer air move up from the south as low pressure is out towards the west and high pressure out towards the east. Not talking obviously summer heats where we're going to probably pump up temperatures up to the mid 30s. This could bring temperatures perhaps into the low to mid 20s possible. Speaking of those temperatures, let's have a look at those temperatures from this GFS run. So through tomorrow, temperatures wildly into just about some places, not quite into double digits across the north, but ranging from around about 10 to perhaps 16 or 17 towards the far southeast. Into Tuesday, again, temperatures ranging from about 11 to 16, 17 down towards the southeast. And Wednesday, again, ranging from around about 11 down to up to 18 down towards the southeast. And again, summer for Thursday and Friday as well. Temperatures could sneak into perhaps 20, 21 degrees for parts of the east there. So it's not as feeling as cool as it is feeling right now. Temperatures up to next weekend could be edging up to 22, 23 degrees. And remaining into the high teens, low 20s. You're going to lie down now. The kittens decided to come back in. She seems a lot calmer now. Whatever she was doing. Just washing her face as she's lying next to me. Now I'm getting my arm licked. You going to calm down? Again, Thursday the 2nd, and today's 10, 11, 12. High teens, low 20s for many areas. And that's remained that in today's 14 as well. So as I fall, these temperatures will be getting to perhaps the low to mid 20s as we pick up that southerly flow on this run. Obviously, if it was a few months ago, temperatures will be getting into probably like the 30s, but we are cooling down now. And the equinox, I think, is tomorrow. I'm just going to look at the wind gust, see if this run, if the remnants of Gabrielle does actually make an appearance. So let's bring that forward through to next weekend. So there's the remnants of Gabrielle, if that was to come off out towards the Bay of far west of Bay of Biscay. It's not really showing too much strong winds at all. So as Gabrielle approaches with that south to southeasterly flow, and as she dives then towards Spain, just pick back into a northeasterly flow. So let's have a look at the this morning's run of the GFS, see what GFS 6 a.m. run does with Gabrielle. So this morning's run, again, high pressure established itself across the UK, moves over towards Scandinavia towards the end of the week, giving us that east to southeast, south northeasterly flow. This also has Gabrielle out towards the west, and it more just with this run, Gabrielle just more dies a death as she bumps into the air of high pressure approaching the UK. So Gabrielle just disappears and merges with another low pressure out into the Atlantic as well. And with this high pressure towards the east, another one builds up in from the Atlantic, ridges up, and now high pressure moves into Eastern Europe, and we'll bring up that southerly flow as well before low pressure makes its presence known again for days 9 and 10. And we've got that ridge and another ridge of high pressure moving up from the southwest as we start October, getting quite, what do I say, stormy out towards the northeast Atlantic. Some weather fronts could be affecting like the northwest of the UK for this time period. Not high pressure is never too far from the southeastern areas. It's like more wet and windier up towards the northwest before again high pressure ridges up again from the southwest. Hello. Can you hear the purring? You lie down next to me. Yep. At least you settled down, the cat. Now let's have a look at the ECMWF 12Z run. See this agreement with Gabrielle. So again, going into tomorrow, high pressure making its presence now across the UK, setting things down. There's Gabrielle out in the Atlantic. So what does the ECMWF do with Gabrielle? This also has Gabrielle heading up towards Iberia. And at the same time, even though we've got high pressure over the UK for Thursday, this does bring in low pressure towards from the goodbye banner. Brings in low pressure from the Atlantic. So by the time we get to next Saturday, we've got low pressure sat over the top of the UK. With Gabrielle out towards out above the Azores when we get to next weekend. And that keeps Gabrielle much further south compared to the GFS. Once that low actually does move through Saturday into Sunday and into Monday, that just quickly fills. Goodness me, these adverts. And we quickly establish high pressure. It's building across the UK through into next week on days 10 and 11. It looks like on the 1st of October, it shows us perhaps another storm coming out of the Atlantic as well. By the time we get to the 1st of October, again, we're under a Scandi high. So this keeps high pressure over the UK for much of that time period, over the 10-day time period, with just that little blip over next weekend where we could see some wind and rain. We'll quickly through before high pressure builds again from the northeast. Okay, and this is from the ECMWF website. So this is the strike probability of tropical, well, at the moment it is Tropical Storm Gabrielle. But not all models are agreeing with this run here that Gabrielle will move towards Iberia. Some do take it out into the central Atlantic, heading up towards Greenland. So there's still uncertainty on that front there. No, that's no good to me. I didn't want that. So the strike probability brings up towards maybe towards Bermuda before moving it mid-Atlantic. And there's quite a spread there. Some of it take up towards Greenland. And we've been seeing some of the computer models that runs there take it towards Iberia or the Bay of Biscay. So there's still a lot to play for between now and next weekend. Right, let's get back into the chat and see what's happening with everybody. Yeah, from Suit there from earlier on, high pressure looks to be blocking the ex-tropical storm or hurricane from reaching us. That seems to be the case at the moment. Good evening to Lee Stevens. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening. Hope you are well. And no effects from the ex-tropical storms on the 7th of October, please. They can come the next day. We shall see what happens in the next couple of weeks. If high pressure's been very stubborn, it could keep everything at bay at the moment. Just going down, just going through your comments. I'll take a cool and calmer, wet and windy any day. I have to agree with that, audio. There will be a winter vid out after the live. I'm not plugging. Oh, that's fine. Send it. Not a problem at all. So after this live, send it. We'll be having his winter vid out for the 25-26 season. Are you trying to make an appearance again? Hey? It's actually, I'll just set the comments off there so you can see. Let me just bring the, she's actually sitting on my lap here, look. Say hello, Stormy. What? Oh, see that look she's just given me then? No. Do you want to lie down, sweetheart? You can't go on there. So if you're pressing the buttons, you could end the live stream, and I don't want that. You're going to lie down, sweetheart. How much of you can hear her purring away there on my lap? Let's continue going down your comments. Occasionally, you might see the odd tail keep going upwards. Oh, sweetheart. She's actually lying across my lap and onto my arm. Will it be a cloudy high? Yeah, that is the question to be. That is the question, really, Matthew. But I'm not sure as yet. It could be a dirty high. Let's just see how much cloud how much cloud it does bring off the North Sea. I'm not unsure at the moment. Oh wow, it's just a lot of comments here. See you talking about desserts there. I went out for a meal with the family earlier on. Had a nice chocolate fudge cake. It was beautiful. You're getting a lot of love, sweetheart. You're getting a lot of love with that cat. Seriously, she's lying on my lap, purring away, falling asleep. She looks so innocent. Yeah, when she wants to be. You can hear her purring away, can you? Still purring there, ain't you? How she looks at you is so cute. Oh no, the purring machine, says Lee. It's about to explode the cuteness. Sunshine this time of year is definitely a bonus. Yeah, there's still a bit of power in the sun. You all think now the sun's probably about, not as strong as it is, probably about the end of March, early start of April. Down the bottom of the comments. What was I about to look at next? So I've gone through what the ECMWF, GFS. Let's have a look at the let's bring up the facts charts, see if that does bring up Gabrielle on their charts for the end of the week. Let's go back to there. There we go. So these are the facts charts from the Met Office. Here's the human interpretation of what's going on out there. So that low pressure is out towards Scania as mentioned. So this little feature down towards the south there could just bring a few showers, maybe for maybe some southern coastal areas and through Jersey, Guernsey in the next few hours before high pressure again builds across the UK. Got to keep an eye on there. There's a bit of a convergence line there, so there could be some showers affecting perhaps the Kent coast there through into Tuesday. don't also have that fax chart there. Looks a bit skew with. Now what we're looking at our Wednesday, high pressure across the UK. Then when we get into Thursday, this also has Gabrielle a lot further south than what some of the model output was showing on the ECMWF track potential. So for us in the UK, we've still got high pressure setting across Scandi, still bringing this east to northeasterly flow. Just got to keep an eye on this feature here. That could bring a spell of showers there again for perhaps the far southeast and perhaps East Anglia as well. You go in now. Yeah. All right then. See you later. And yet there's Gabrielle out towards the head towards the Azores. And we'll have to see what Gabrielle does during next week. Keep talking about Gabrielle. Let's actually bring up the National Hurricane Center. See what the very latest is with Gabrielle. So there's Gabrielle there. Currently, she's a tropical storm. And the key messages from Tropical Storm Gabrielle is it's forecast to become a hurricane soon and pass east of Bermuda on Monday. While the chances of impacts are decreasing, interest on Bermuda should continue to monitor and forecast updates since some wind and rainfall impacts are still possible. And the swell generated by Gabrielle will continue to affect Bermuda during the next few days. These swells are expected to reach the east coast of the United States from North Carolina northward, as well as the Atlantic Canada, starting today and continuing through early next week. These swells are likely to cause some life-threatening surf and rip currents. Please consult your products from your local weather forecast office. So let's have a look at the cone of uncertainty. So this cone actually brings Gabrielle up towards the Azores. Currently she's at 65 miles an hour sustained, moving northwest at 12 miles an hour. And the track has heading towards the Azores. Was that probably a sort of tropical storm? That's the right one I wanted to look at. So yeah, at the moment, heading up towards the Azores, I was like possibly as a tropical storm. And where she goes after that, if she shoots up towards the North Atlantic or towards Iberia, that's still to be determined at this stage. But it's not just Gabrielle we need to keep an eye on. We've got two watches at the moment. So first, let's have a look at this first yellow warning. So disturbance number 2. Another tropical wave located more than 500 miles to the east of the Windward Islands is currently producing a small area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms as it moves quickly westward. Early satellite-derived wind data indicates that the wave does not have a closed circulation. Environmental conditions appear only marginally conducive for further development over the next several days as the wave continues to move quickly westwards to west-northwestwards around 20 miles an hour. And by the latter part of the week, the system is expected to slow down and turn more northwestward to the north of Hispaniola. Regardless of the development, the system is expected to bring gusty winds and showers for portions of the Leeward Islands on Tuesday. So at the moment, there's only a 20% chance of this forming into any tropical storm or depression in the next 7 days. There's no one behind that, which is disturbance number 1. and a broad tropical wave in its central tropical Atlantic is producing limited showers and thunderstorms well to the west-southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. And although environmental conditions are not favorable for the initial development of the system over the next day or two, these conditions should gradually become better favorable for development by the middle to latter part of this week, and a tropical depression could form while the system moves west-northwestward to northwestward to northwestward across the central Atlantic. So for the next 48 hours, we're looking at 0% chance of formation, and over the next 7 days, looking at 50% chance. So it looks like this could be taking a very similar path to Gabrielle at the moment. And so time will tell in the coming week of where that heads off to. And into the Eastern Pacific, literally, we've got that one there, which feels like it's about to form at any moment. And showers and thunderstorms continue to show signs of organisation in association with an area of low pressure located a couple of 100 miles south of Acapulco, Mexico. Recent satellite-derived winds indicate that the system is producing near gale force winds with better defined low-level circulation, and environmental conditions remain favourable for additional development, and a tropical depression or tropical storm is expected to form later today or tonight as this system moves westward at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So that'll be your next named storm there for the Eastern Pacific. Right. It's going to bring up the next chart. Which will be our ECMWF weekly anomaly charts. I'm just getting that ready. Before moving on, I'll just double check the chat. Paul James is saying the equinox is at 7:19 p.m. tomorrow. So depending how you look at it, if you see it, the seasons change with the equinox or the start of the month. Autumn starts tomorrow if you do it for the equinox. I just went blank then for a second. Well, the fans, the sun strength is equivalent to March the 21st. Yes, yeah, be the opposite to the equinox, yeah, to the spring and autumn. There's still a tiny bit of power in that sun I felt earlier on. Even though it felt much cooler, it still has the better strength. Gabrielle should be a hurricane by the next step update, I think. Yeah, I was like, it should be a hurricane by easily within the next 6 to 12 hours. How is the jet stream position looking in? Looking in? Let's have a quick look at the jet stream because it is. Last time I checked, it is very meandering at the moment. Very amplified, that's the word I was looking for. So yeah, that's the jet stream right now. So considering how it was during much of September so far, where it's making a beeline for the UK, we're in a very amplified state at the moment. And it'll be that amplified by the time we get into Monday, Tuesday, we'll have a cut-off flow into the near continent. And with this amplification, we're going to get high pressure building out towards the northwest of this cut-off low, hence why, excuse me, things are turning dry for this coming week. So there's that cut-off low there. That's why there's potential for some showers and down as far as southeast of England through tomorrow and then towards the back end of this week. As that cut-off low just sits around Central Europe. So again, it could bring us some showers there for the far southeast during the end of the week. Still got high pressure across the UK. So this little feature here is going to be whatever's left of Gabrielle. So we've got to split the jet stream there as we head into days 9 and 10. As we head into days 10, the jet stream coming out of Canada, across the Atlantic, then moves up towards Iceland, back through Scandi. And again, we've got high pressure over the UK with this. Before the jet stream starts getting more amplified again as we head into the start of October. Looking quite messy there as we headed through the second week, again the first and second week of October. So the jet stream is in a very amplified state looking ahead. Right, let's have a look at the ECMWF weekly anomaly charts. I'll have a look at someone asked about the PV. Go on, before we start on that, while we're on the GFS, let's bring that back across. Let's have a look at the stratosphere, because it is at its cooling stage right now. So obviously it's in the cooling stage right now. We should start to see more blue in the map. Still the last bit of warming, the winter warmth there towards the Pacific side. It should be around about now. We'll start to see more the blue starts to appear as things really start to turn cooler. As we do side of the equinox. So things are gradually turning cooler as we head to the start of October. And the PV will slowly start to fire back up ready for the winter season. So we are seeing that cooling trend as temperatures start dropping below the -60 mark. Interested to see what kind of winter we get this year. Right, let's have a look at these ECMWF charts now, weekly anomaly charts. Make sure I'm still full screen on that. Oh, I've gone blank. Which means my face won't not appear when next time I come on the screen. My whole screen just went blank. So ECMWF. Right, so let's go through these. This is the ECMWF weekly anomaly charts. This is for the 22nd of September to the 29th of September and has high pressure up towards Scandi, bringing us this easterly flow. As we into next week, we're still got that Scandi high and we're under higher pressure. Again, that'll bring in more of a easterly, perhaps southeasterly at times as we're heading towards the start of October. The 6th of October to the 13th has higher pressure out towards the central Atlantic. In this setup, winds will come down from more of a northwesterly direction. The 13th to the 20th October, high pressure towards the south. That will bring westerlies in off the Atlantic. And no clear signal at all there for the back end of October into the start of November. Again, same charts coming up with the precipitation for the same time period. And what's been after being a dry, I've been a wet September for many areas so far. The 22nd to 29th has us dried on average across the UK. We're looking average for the 29th to the 6th of October. And again, for the 6th to the 13th. Perhaps slightly wetter for northwest of Scotland, northern Scotland there for the 13th to 20th. And there's no very clear signal there. It's the end of October. And finally, the 2 meter temperatures for the same time period. Well, how often do we see this? Quite a lot of Europe there, cooler than average. I'm not talking about the odd degree or two. This has many areas actually between 3 to 6 degrees below average, especially for France there, where you are getting into the, we're about 1 to 3 degrees below average. Parts of central France there, perhaps 3 to 6 degrees below average for this time period, the 22nd to the 29th of September. The 29th to the 6th of October has just warmer at an average from northern England northwards and average towards much of Wales, much of England, Wales, away from the north. The 6th of October to the 13th has a slightly below average for much of the country. And looking around about average for the middle of October and the back end of October as well. Right. My face up is shown because it's gone blank on me. And I can't come off here. So unfortunately, I can't show my face anymore. Even if I turn my background off, it will not show my face. Which is no good, is it? Watch that Scandi disappears in the winter. Yeah, if you want cold weather, especially prolonged cold weather, I do need a bit of a Scandi high, but there's always been cold weather. If you remember, perhaps back in March time, we had a bit of a Scandi high, but the continent wasn't cold enough. Actually, if I remember, next week I'll start showing you the latest. Actually, I could do that now if I can find it, if I saved it on here. The latest snow and ice charts. Oh. Just bear me a second. I almost end up accidentally cutting off the live stream then. Right. Go to that chart. So sorry, my face is not on the screen. Actually lost that feed of myself. So this is the first I've shown this, obviously the season. This is the latest snow and ice charts. This is as from September the 20th, so yesterday. We've just got a bit of snow cover there for the far north of Russia. And there's a bit of snow actually cover there for parts of Iceland as well. So very latest charts. Just got that tiny bit of snow cover there for parts of northern Russia. Then as the season progresses into winter, we should start to see more of the ice come back and virtually, hopefully most of this turning white as we head into winter. Right, our time is now 3 minutes to 9. We'll start to end off the live stream in a few moments. Sorry, I can't bring myself onto screen. The only way I can do it is actually if I leave the live stream, which means I end up leaving the live. It's okay when I've got another member of the team on this screen because I can come out and back in again. I'm just seeing a comment there from Matthew. Oh, that's that one. Just jumped up then. Your cat's going to love the Christmas tree this year. Yeah, I might hang it from the ceiling. Let's just see what happens. So yeah, we're going to end the live there. So I can't come onto the screen as I mentioned. So I've heard that Gav will be back to doing his live streams as from tomorrow at 8 p.m. So if you're wanting a bit of Gav's live, tune into his channel from 8 p.m. tomorrow. I'll try tune in myself at some point during the live. And we'll be back at 8 p.m. next Sunday as well. We'll see what happens with Gabrielle. And if we're still under high pressure. Was it 7 p.m. tomorrow? I thought I read it was 8 p.m. Just clarify. Oh, do apologise. Let's edit that. There we go. What Gav saying, you'll be discussing the winter 25-26 updates, and you'll be going through the 12Z, and of course he'll be looking at the long range. So that's from Gav from a few days ago. He'll be returned back to his live as of tomorrow. Yeah, James had to doubt himself for a second there. Yeah, it is 7 o'clock. Gav will be live from 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So, yeah, thank you all much for watching this evening. Thank you for spending your Sunday night with me. On behalf of myself and the team, thank you so much for the support. We shall see you around. Thank you to our mods for keeping an eye on things for us. And feel free to smash the like button if you want to. I'm going back to Stormy. Where is she? I think she's in my daughter's dollhouse, I think. At the moment, she seems to be on the bottom shelf with the dolls. I would show her, but I can't. So yeah, thank you so much. And when did I say that? It's time to roll those credits. I wish you a good night, and I shall see you next Sunday from 8, and should see you in the chat on Gav's live tomorrow from 7 p.m. Take care. Thanks for watching, and ta-ra for now.